What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Gonna try to make this one somewhat short. I'm doing a battery delete on 6.7. I do have my 2G swap, which I'm waiting on a manifold from Black Market Performance, and then I'm ready to get into this whole swap. But in the meantime, this seems pretty simple. The reason I'm doing the battery delete is because you don't need to do this when you do a 2G swap, but how congested this side of the bay is, which I'll flip the camera here in a minute, you would want that. I don't have a grid heater delete on this truck, or a grid heater on this truck. A lot of your secondary battery is around the grid heater stuff. A lot of you 6.7 guys probably don't have that to begin with because of the bolt on the other side over there that actually falls down in the intake plenum and trashes the motor. So we're gonna get into this, guys. Before I do this, please like the video, please subscribe. The subscribers, the views, everything is through the roof right now. Trying to keep riding that high, trying to get to where we want to go. I'm gonna start posting on TikTok as well as Instagram. Never really do that. You guys don't really care if you've made it to this part in the video, but I do. It helps me grow. If you just comment, like, subscribe, it makes a huge difference, and it's all free. So let me flip the camera around. I'll show you guys exactly step by step what I'm gonna do with this, and if this is something you want to do. And I'm gonna do a review also a couple months later that's going to say if I had any start issues, because I know that's everybody's like big thing. Why would you want to get rid of another battery? And guys, that's your primary battery. The truck, if it's not going to start off that, it's not going to start at all, because all this stuff is secondary. So keep that in mind whenever you're like thinking of diesels have two batteries. Driver's side's primary. A lot of this is controlled by your grid heater and other things like that. So this doesn't even receive charge until that starts the truck. So don't judge me on the filter. I'm actually giving this to a buddy I work with for free. Anyway, instructions say disconnect both batteries. Pretty self-explanatory, positive, negative. And then back on this positive, you see I have a wire right here that runs the battery. So whenever I disconnect this, this is obviously going to be hanging. So I'm going to try to tuck that out of the way and cover that up. And then once we get that out, we have some other stuff, but let's just do the basics. But I need to remove this as well, the intake, because I need to get to the alternator. So once I remove that, you guys see that we have some wiring that runs under here, and then it goes to where that bolt would be. Please ignore this wiring. That is for rock lights, which are coming out of this truck because it's not my cup of tea anyway. But anyway, battery's on a tender because I never drive the truck. So we'll go ahead and get that battery out first. And then we'll get over to here, get this fuse box open because I need this stud. I'm trying to make this as bulletproof as possible. I'm gonna have to stop the video and probably start tomorrow because I gotta go to a dinner. But anyway, 8 millimeter, just pop these off for right now. We'll deal with the other excess stuff later. This battery box does have a hold down in it, which is right here, which is a 10 millimeter bolt that holds your battery down. And then you're actually able to pull the battery out of this. And now getting into the box, got a bolt here, got a bolt here, same thing on this side. And I'm assuming the grid heater is probably attached down here. I'm trying to walk you guys through it as I'm walking through it so that if you have any questions at all, they can answer this. So that's my next step, is going to be take these bolts out, see what else is holding this box. And I'm sure some of this wiring here is holding some of this in. So we'll get into that next. All right, guys. So per usual, I was wrong. Bottom side, you got to pull your inner fender liner out. I think these are the last two bolts that I have to remove, I believe. Then I should be able to get the box out. So I did have to drop the liner down. All right, guys, it's the next day. I got the battery box out, which is on the ground, and the grid heater part itself. Let me show you guys where I'm at. The wiring I'm gonna have to remove, and then we'll just keep the video moving. But it is. So here's the factory battery box. This, I just undid the tabs. These two tabs right here, they pull straight off. And then I believe these are 10 millimeters. And that does that. And then now we're in the bay on what we're gonna have to remove, tuck away, etc., etc. So this power wire right here, I'm gonna have to unbolt it up here, and then would appear that be able to completely get rid of this wire Then I got to find out where this ground goes. The problem is some of the plugs on this ground. Looks like I can undo this one, then kind of tuck all this extra wiring out of the way over here. That's going to be my goal. But I'm going to walk you guys along with it. So let me go ahead and get some of this wiring out of the way, show you guys what I've done, and then we'll keep it moving. All right, guys, let's dig into what I just did. Autumn bolt right there on the alternator, 13 millimeter, remove that. Unbolted it from this fuse right here. I really wish this bracket would unbolt because I think it looks awful, but not looking like we're going to do that. And then the ground wire, which is tied into, this is if you have like factory air box, and these two are for your grid heater. It would have been really nice to be able to get rid of most of that, but I'm probably going to wait for my 2G swap because this ground wire runs, you can kind of see it down in there, away from the intercooler piping. So for right now, I know this doesn't look the best, but I'm probably going to go ahead and just kind of get this rat's nest like over here for right now. Then when I do the swap, unbolt it, and then I'll be able to break away the tape. But now I'm actually to the part to where I can actually install the battery delete wire and the inline fuse. So let's go ahead and hop right in. I know this is going to be super loud, so I'm going to try to talk loud and then turn the truck off. But this is the roughest way that I could route this to make sure that I did it correctly. And now I'm going to route this wire all pretty, and I'll show you the end result. But anyway, this is your gauge wire running down to the bottom of that stud right there on your alternator. Now what I'm going to do is take this on the bottom side so it looks cleaner, but you route this over to your fuse box supplied bracket that they provide you, the 250 amp fuse. It has a washer, a lock washer, a nut, and then your main wire. I mean, I just wanted to make sure the truck was going to start. That's why I kind of just did it real loosely, but now it's time to go ahead and clean this up, and I'll show you guys the end result. I need to figure something out. So it routes down in there. I actually like that, but I want to, it came with a cover, but it like doesn't fit on this. But anyway, it routes under there and then comes back up right there. It's out of the way of everything, I'll make sure. But I have so much wiring to clean up. Like all this stuff unbolts. It's just super pain in the ass to get to. Undecided if I'm just going to wait for the 2G swap. But that power wire that goes under, that goes, I mean, this is basically how it looks. Man, it starts up fine, no check engine lights, no nothing. All right, this is gonna finish the video up, show you guys the end result of what I did. Put the intake back on, plugged the sensors in just because I started it and I had to check engine light and I was like, it's probably because of this. It was. So anyway, trying to show you guys, there you go. Bottom of the alternator, that bolt right there, I have that going down, and man, focus a little bit, have that going down under, and then comes back up right on the driver's side. Focus comes back up to the driver's side to this stud right here. Now I will say this, it came with a little cover, but unfortunately that cover and this box, without doing like some trimming and stuff, because you can see, let me open this up for you, pretty tight fit. And by pretty tight fit I mean extremely. So they provide you a nice little bracket and then your fuse. I did start the truck, make sure I didn't have any check engine lights, but this is my step of showing you guys how to do the battery delete. Overall, nice kit. It's pretty self-explanatory, it's pretty simple actually. You could probably throw this together yourself, but I supported them. I follow all of his stuff on social media, so figured why not throw a little bit of support. It was only like 90 bucks. But the big thing is when my 2G swap, now this wiring all needs cleaned up. Focus. Man, I'm sorry guys. The wiring needs all cleaned up, inner fender liner needs put back up. But this negative terminal, it's gonna come off. That, I need to unbolt this. And then this metal rod will still be here, but at least this won't be so bad. And I can tuck that behind that coolant jug. It's not all finished, cleaned up, but obviously I'm gonna spend a lot of time on this side of the bay whenever I'm doing the 2G swap. So I'm gonna clean all this up. But yeah, truck starts, no check engine lights. And guys, it's freezing out right now. It's like course it's not good. Okay, 32 degrees and it is snowing outside. Truck's been setting for a week, not on a battery tender or anything, and it fires right up. No check engine lights or nothing. So answer your question so far, does one battery affect it? Nope. So, all right, guys, support those who support you. Like the video, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Show you guys support. 8-ball performance for this whole delete kit will be down in the link description below. Great product, no complaints, no nothing, pretty straightforward. So support those who support you. Peace.